Learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to make them. Alright, y'all. I did not plan on making this video, but, you know, yeah. You work on stuff and sometimes it just don't work out the way that you think that it should. You know, it's like that 1 out of 20 time that you do something that ends up jacked up. So you might be saying, well, Darius, what are you talking about? Well, I went to go switch out my axle, which I didn't record because this should be a pretty simple process. I've done it like 5 times. Well, this time the axle nut, not the axle nut, but the axle itself was like a little jacked up. And you might be saying, what is going on there and there? Well, I had to take my trusty Milwaukee Dremel or rotary tool and had to do some cutting. So what was once one piece is now 3 pieces. So what I'm going to do with this is that I'm going to pull this axle out, which is just, well, I got to take all this stuff back apart. I got to take my 3/8 rod sensor off and blah, blah, blah. Get the axle out. I'm going to take my angle grinder, cut off the bad piece. If need be, I will take my tap and retap it. And then when I was driving it, it was making noise, which I thought was like the backing plate of the axle moving around, hitting the hub, but it was not. I didn't realize that I've been neglecting my car, and there is no brake pad. And that piece right there, the little brake pad indicator, was hitting. And that came out of nowhere. I mean, I was like maybe 5 miles into the test drive, and it just started screaming. I got check engine light, I got traction control light, the front radar cruise control light. I got my whole dash is lit up over the brakes issue. So since I'm going to get this axle fixed today, I'm not going to order brakes, wait on brakes. I'm definitely not buying them local to spend twice as much money. So I'm going to do what I normally don't do, and I'm just going to slap some pads on it. Now, I got these EBC red pads from IO. I think his YouTube channel is Another Slow 6, and his Instagram, I think, is Ayo M6. I got these brake pads from him in like 2020. And something is wrong with one of them. I think like the edge or something is chipped on one of them or something. I don't remember. He sold them to me for like 20 bucks. And I was like, 20 bucks? Sure. I'll take them. Oh, this is what it was. Like the edge of it was chipped. Just a little bit, like on that one. And it was chipped a little bit more on this one. And it was chipped. So 3 out of 4 of them were chipped. And I don't care. They've been sitting here for going on 5 years. And I'm not replacing these rotors right now because it's cold and I don't feel like waiting. So I'm going to do a semi-temporary permanent fix. And I'm just going to throw these EBCs right on there on both sides. I'm sure the other side is probably not too far gone. So I'll be back once I pull this axle off. We're going to throw it in my little mini vice grip. But it's not a vice grip. And then we're going to take some tape, try to get a halfway straight line. And yeah. Yo, I must be just... I did this myself. This was 100% my fault, and it's just costing me more money and more time. So don't drive your car if your axle nut is not tight, because evidently what it does is that it just destroys your hub bearing, your wheel bearings. So your hub bearing, wheel bearing, whatever, should not have that much play. At no point should it have that much play. So surprisingly, still sounds fine, but I'm not going to run that knowing that it has that much play in it. So I'm going to hop on Amazon and I'm going to order a hub, which isn't going to be here until Thursday. Today's Monday, so 3 days. So I thought about getting on LKQ's website and doing a claim for this axle, but it should be enough on there. Once I cut it, it'll be fine, and then I'll do a claim on it before my warranty period is up. And no, I'm not going to order new brakes. I'm going to run the EBC pads on there. So we're just going to replace this wheel hub, wheel bearing, whatever. But in the meantime, I'm going to get everything else straightened out. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled out so that when the new one comes, I can slap the new one on, slap the axle on, and all that fun stuff. But let's get to cutting that down to see if we need to order another passenger side axle or not. Learn from my mistakes so that you don't have to make them. I drove this car maybe 15 miles. Now, it probably doesn't help that my car has almost 270,000 miles on it. But yeah, don't drive your car if you have a loose axle bearing. I didn't think that it was going to, a wheel bearing. I didn't think it was going to destroy itself that fast, but it did. So, yay. I think I can turn the camera off with this. Can I? This is the DJI Mini 2. It connects directly to the camera. No transmitter needed. And I believe if I press this button... Oh, it did not stop recording. I thought it was supposed to. No.
Way feels good this time. See if we've got the roll warmed up. Good on the tube though. I don't know if you heard that. It should make it a fit. Feels so good. Stock car feels so good. Man, this thing feels really good. I know I never get my touch drive to Celia, but it's the best part about these boys. Stop here, boys. So that wheelbearing, the hub assembly gets pulled in, pulled it up.
Alright, got it. A little rusty. Shouldn't have been that big of a fight to get it out though. So I will probably reuse this backing plate on the new wheel bearing, but I'm gonna go ahead and order the wheel bearing now. See if I can get it here earlier than Thursday, which is 3 days away. Hold on, but we'll see if we can get it here.
I gotta show y'all the ways. I gotta show y'all where it's up and leaking it.
Woo! All right. Ain't nothing on fire. Fire check. Ain't nothing on fire. So we should be good. Let it cool down for a second and see if we can get a bolt thread. Oh, you know what? Forget letting it cool down. Let's see off the back if we can get a bolt threaded on it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We on the money. We are on the money. That thing is threading by hand. Oh yeah. So I consider that golden. That should be enough engagement, especially on the short one. That should be plenty for a full engagement. So we on the money. We are on the money. So cool. All right, y'all, we are back. As you can see, the brake rotor on this side is gone. I just couldn't bring myself to put new brake pads on and leave the rotors how they were. Like, I sat on it. Today's Saturday. I think it was Tuesday last time I talked to y'all. I sat on it for a couple of days, and this morning I couldn't put everything back together and had them brake rotors. So, and we got one store local to me. It's like 10 minutes down the road. It's the O'Reilly's, and they will turn the rotors for you. So if you have enough meat left on the rotors, they have like a minimum thickness for it. If it meets the minimum thickness, is my lens dirty? There we go. If it meets the minimum thickness, they can turn it down a little bit, which they just shave a small portion off of it to make sure that it's all nice and smooth. Now with that, since it's thinner, it will dissipate less heat potentially, and then it may warp the rotors. But $40 for 2 front car rotors versus potentially $50, $60 each, I'll take it. So I'll do that. So I'm literally $60 in on my front brake change between the rotors and the pads. I did order the TRQ front hubs. And I'm going to go ahead. I did order 2 because I figured if I did one, I would do the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thrown back together, and I will be back once it's all back together. I mean, there's no point in me recording it. I am going to do a how-to video on the driver's side, but this side is already too far gone to try to do a video on how to do this. So there goes the bearing. When it comes apart, the wheel hub, then this is what it's supposed to look like. So again, do not drive around with your axle nut loose, because clearly the bearing only lasts like 10 miles. I guess it's just not made for that lateral load. So yeah, I will be back I'll be back once I get everything put back together. And I need to take a thumbnail for the driver's side video, even though this isn't driver's side hub, but hey, why not? So I'll be back. Learn from me, don't do as I do. That's why I'm here. Learn from my mistakes so you don't have to make them. All right, y'all. Just went and got the rotors from O'Reilly's. And here we go. So I thought it was $40 for 2 rotors, but it's actually $50 for 2 rotors. So it was like $53 and some change to turn both rotors. So of course they do the outside surface and inside surface. And basically it just takes off just a very little bit of metal to get everything nice and smooth. So this is equivalent to buying basically a brand new rotor for $25 instead of $50 per rotor. So it saves you about half, especially locally. I think it would have been like $120 for me to buy 2 new front rotors for my car. I got both of them turned for $53 and some change. So now I'm going to get all this back together, and then I'll be back when it's back together. I need to do a drain and fill on transmission fluid, and I need to weld the hanger on the exhaust because it came loose. And basically the one weld that wasn't mine was the one that broke. So I'll be back when I get to that. All right, y'all, I forgot to get my camera and start recording, but as you can see, the exhaust is hanging at a much better height than it was before. I'm not a professional welder. I'm actually quite a sucky welder, but you know, it is what it is. So as you can see, my crappy welds, and this is stainless steel, so whatever, but hey, it's on there. It's being supported by its own weight, and I'm cool with that. Like I said, it ain't going nowhere. We'll see how long it lasts. But yeah, so I think for this video, this is probably gonna be it. You know, just things escalate really fast. Did I show y'all the brakes? No, I didn't. So the brakes are done, put together on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and do a drain and fill on the transmission fluid, and then I need to find a alignment shop. I might go to the one that I went to a few years ago here in Greensboro. My rear camber don't need to be adjusted, just my front camber needs to be evened out at like -2, and then just adjust the toe. And they did that last time, and that's fine. I don't need any rear camber adjustment. So yeah, hopefully this video isn't too long. Why does it keep going dark? Hopefully the video isn't too long. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You know, I really don't do like vlog style videos, so we'll see how this works out. So I need to stop saying so. Like everything you do, think, build, enjoy. That is the motto. Peace.